this is Amy with Flower Moxie, and I just did an unboxing of our ready-made bridesmaid bouquet sundress, which is kind of like a soft wildflower. So when you get them in, they're gonna look very underwhelming and very tired because they've traveled for several days. But we're not gonna worry about that because we know that they're gonna perk up. So these came wrapped in a ribbon. I think the first time I got them, they weren't. So I'm not sure if the farm is doing this permanently, but it's a nice perk. I'm not gonna commit to that just yet until I know it's a for sure thing. I'm gonna go ahead and take the ribbon off. And the reason being is I wanna cut it shorter and I wanna unbind it because it's a little bit smushed. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this ribbon. And it comes with some flower food. And I've got 2 vases here. And these are my hydration vases. And I'm just gonna split up this flower food between the 2 because I don't have enough water to use the entire packet. But what this is gonna do is just give it a little bit of sugar to perk these flowers up. It will keep the bacteria low in the water and balance the pH of the water. So they've wrapped this with stem tape. And you can leave it as is. Like if you liked it how it was, then more power to you. As a florist, I like my stems to be shorter, and I want to unbind this personally because I want these flowers to floof up and open to maximum capacity. And when it's really tightly bound, it can't quite do that. But the work has already been done for me. It will take me nothing to pick this up, slap a rubber band or a zip tie around it, and it's ready to go. So I don't need quite this length. Don't give your bridesmaids something like this because in the pictures, you know, right now this is smushed, but you see more stem than floral. So I'm gonna come in here and cut off a lot of this. And guys, you can't beat this for the price point. It is phenomenal. So gonna pop it in water, open it up, you know, let these ranunculus open, let these roses open. These carnations are kind of closed. And so they'll probably open within a day or 2, but you can always manhandle carnations by coming in and using your thumb to open them up. But these are very tired because they've been traveling, and we're just gonna give it a day or 2. And this is perfect as it is. But what I'm gonna show you later on is how you can backfill. So you can take these are a great price point, give them to your bridesmaid, call it a day. Or if you want to add in some like quicksand roses or Juliet garden roses or something just to personalize it a bit, it takes nothing to backfill and just to add to. So this saves you so much time. I'm such a huge fan of these, and that's why we brought them in and tried to make them very themed and monochromatic. That way, if it's like almost what you want, but not quite what you want, no problem. You can just add to. But this price point is just as good than if you started from scratch. I went through a sewing phase in my 20s and 30s, and I made, you know, something from scratch. It took me forever. But then I got clever and I started going to thrift stores. And I would find something that I liked, and then I would take it home and modify it slightly. It was way cheaper, took me less time, so I think this is kind of the same thing. So we're gonna give this a couple days, and they'll look really beautiful in just about a day or 2.
Hey, this is Callie with Flower Moxie, and I wanted to show you our pre-made bouquet called the Sundress. This is so fun and perfect for any wildflower event or bride out there. Comes with all these fun textures, but before I get into that, let's talk a little bit about what pre-mades are. So this bouquet was actually made at the farm. It's in a great little spiral, you know, we love that. And then it ships directly to your door, ready to go. So what I want to show you is how you can customize these and change maybe the shape of the bouquet or add your favorite flower or make it your own any way you want to. So to start, this would be good to go. If you ordered these, this is what it looks like when it comes in. All we did is cut these, drop them in water. We got them yesterday, and this is what it's looking like today. But to adjust this, as you know, I'm a tinkerer, so I'm gonna find ways to kind of make it my own and make it different. And I think a lot of you would like to do that too. So with bridal bouquets, you know, we like to have them kind of one-sided. So I'm gonna start with this by bringing down the lower flowers in the front and also pulling up the flowers in the back. This helps me to create sort of a flat back here. And that way all the flowers are front facing, you can see them in the photos, and there's nothing really hidden. It's also helpful for whoever is holding this bouquet or carrying this bouquet. For one, it's very obvious which side is the front and which side is the back, so they can hold the back to them. It's always facing the camera. And another good reason is between photos or between like the wedding and the reception, the bouquet is going to be set down quite a few times, and having this flat side will prevent anything from breaking or kind of bruising the flowers. Okay, once I have this adjusted into the shape that I want, I'm gonna look in the mirror and just go ahead and make minor adjustments before I add the stems to it. I mean, immediately I can see there's a cluster of 3 carnations here. Just gonna move those around, spread those out a little bit. Whenever you are adjusting these bouquets, be sure to keep loosening them up. Make sure your grip is very loose. You don't want to have like a really tight ball. For one, it won't give you the organic look if that's what you're going for. It also makes it really hard to remove and add stems whenever you have such a tight grip on the bouquet. There's these really nice terracotta-y-ish palms in this bouquet. I feel like they're kind of hiding in between. So I want to add some of those to the front so you can get that nice pop of color. So again, I just took that out of the bouquet and then I'm adding it back to the bouquet in a different location, and I'm making sure that I stick with that spiral shape and the flow of stems when I do that. I don't want to add it opposite of the spiral, or it could snap. It would cause pressure against the other stems, then you could have a broken stem. Okay, already I'm feeling like this is a different look, maybe not better, but just a different vibe for this bouquet. I've got everything kind of loosened up, spread out a little bit. And now I want to go in and add these other stems. So let's start with our biggest stems. That's going to be this peach stalk. There's a lot of peach tones in this bouquet, so I'm not sure how many of these I want to add. I did want to add a bit of fluff and just kind of mass to this bouquet. Just, you know, I like a really big bouquet. What can I say? Peach stalk are notorious for having kind of gross blooms on the bottom. All stalk is that way. I feel like peach is the biggest offender, so just doesn't mean your stalk is bad. Just pluck those off, throw them away. You've still got a really nice stem to use. I think I left those kind of longer. I didn't tuck them all the way into the bouquet. I wanted to get a little bit of dimension, just more movement in this bouquet. All right, next I have these line flowers, delphinium. So I can really also get a lot of height with these if I wanted to, but I do want to probably cut these down, remove some of these bottom blooms. Let's see. I have blue thistle in this bouquet, so I thought it might be nice to have another blue flower to just accent that. I'm gonna tuck it in pretty deeply because I don't want this to become overwhelmingly like spiky and line flowers. Down to my last blue flower. I want to make sure I have good balance here so we're not heavy blue on one side. It seems like I'll have a lot going on here. So maybe I'm going to add this kind of right to the center of this bouquet. Yeah. Okay, so this bouquet has a few light pink blushy roses. They're not too noticeable. I thought that the Juliet Garden Rose would be a nice addition, especially for a bridal bouquet where maybe you want a nicer flower mixed in with all of these kind of wildflower vibes. I think Juliet Garden Roses must be the rose of the century of our lifetime. It can go with nearly any color palette out there. It can lean blushy, people add it to fall arrangements, and here it is looking beautiful in a wildflower sunny day sundress bouquet. All right, that is looking really wild, really good. I have two more Juliets here. I don't know that I want to use those. I feel like I've got some nice focal points with the ones that I have. Who am I kidding? I have them, so I'm gonna actually add it more to the top of this bouquet. Maybe draw the eye up all the way through the bouquet a little more. Okay, and then lastly, I have these pink Lysianthus I'd like to add. Lysianthus are great for adding movement. I mean, we already have a lot of movement in this bouquet. A little more won't hurt us. They've got those great green buds. I'm gonna let those float over the bouquet a little bit. Keeps it from getting too roundy moundy, while also having a purpose with the color. I'm gonna add this one more on the front of the bouquet, kind of facing whoever's looking at it, facing the camera. And I'm constantly looking for holes as I add flowers to this bouquet. So, whoop, broke that one. I see kind of right in the front in that focal area. Definitely need to add this Lysianthus here down low. All right, this is getting incredibly hard to hold. This is a huge bouquet with lots of stems. I'm gonna call that my sign to stop adding, take a look in the mirror and see where we're at. Loosen up my grip a little, kind of shake that bouquet out. I think I've got one that could come over here. I'm gonna be careful to add this into my spiral so that it does not snap. Another thing I see are these two billy balls that have kind of gotten smashed. Who doesn't love billy balls? I want to pick those up so they can be seen. All right, I feel pretty good about this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my stems down to make it a little more manageable. And as I cut my stems, I try to cut these at an angle But more importantly than that, I'm gonna cut these all the same length. And that's because when I put this vase or this bouquet into a vase of water, I wanna make sure that every stem reaches the water so that it can hydrate. Some of the stems are shorter, and if you only cut the longer stems, your flowers could not get water and they would die. That was dramatic, but it could happen. So I add my zip tie. I don't add it too tightly. I really just add it for support. Now I'm gonna shake apart my bouquet a little bit, regain that organic shape. I lost the lisianthus there. So I'm gonna kind of tuck that one down a bit more. All right, there we go. So I took an already wildflower-esque bouquet, the Sundress Premade Bouquet, and I just kind of added my own little flair to it. I want it to be a little bit wilder, or a lot wilder, and this just feels totally customized to what I wanted to do today. So again, it was beautiful, lovely to start, and this just shows you how easy and how quick it is to add flowers to it, to make the shape your own, to make the vibe your own, and really feel free to just get crazy with it. So our pre-made Sundress bouquet with a few additions to it. I thought this one was really fun. It took me maybe 10 or 15 minutes to complete this, and I will definitely be doing this again. So let me know what you think of our pre-made Sundress bouquet.